I saw there was some fair
Yeah, and
experience.
so it's like,
when
are
you
they
sent
really
it
gonna
over.
move? You know? Brandon, I love that guy. Can we have him as the other?
I told the cops, I'm like, how do you get this guy?
How dare they have him? That other guy hasn't worked a day in law enforcement in his life.
No, he was a cop.
Okay, well,
But here's the difference.
there's a reason.
He was just a cop.
Yeah.
That guy was a deputy chief.
And this is a retirement date where the other guy couldn't cut it as a cop, and so they didn't work for the union. There's a difference.
That guy was
He was so good.
He was awesome. When you guys left, we sat and talked for like another 40 minutes.
I know. When we got out the door, I was like, "I'm sorry, we had to leave. Otherwise, we'd have been there forever. You could talk to him forever."
Super nice.
I'm like, I want to work with him for every one of our contracts.
Yeah, he would have been in and out.
Oh my gosh! Can you imagine how different that one would have been? Did you tell Jared and tell them like they should request a change?
Like, you guys need this guy.
He was great. Yeah, I wasn't thinking of it till you said it, and I'm like, yes. I was like, I didn't catch that until you started talking. I'm like, oh, it'll be fine if you've qualified, and then all of a sudden when you were talking, I was like, look at it.
You were good. Yep.
I know. You don't want to be tight. And he was running into the business. I'll tell you what happened. Yeah. So you told her and she agreed.
She seemed like she
Okay. Good.
It is 6 o'clock. We'll call the Sartell City Council meeting to order for Monday, January 22nd. Please rise for Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, next item on our agenda is the agenda review and adoption. I'll take a motion.
I'll move that.
A second?
Motion and a second. And we do have a revised agenda. Apologies for that. Adding under special presentations. Would you amend your agenda for that?
Yes, of course, would amend that for,
And second.
And second. We have an amended agenda with special presentation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Special presentations, I just heard Rob say, oh God. So Rob, we want to take a moment to recognize your accomplishments of our finance director. Rob has officially passed his last exam and is now a certified public finance officer. This is an intense 18-month program, which Rob completed in 12, designed to prepare individuals for leadership positions in state and local governments by enhancing fundamental skills and increasing knowledge of best practice and standards in public finance. There are currently only 500 active CPIFOs in the United States, and now there's 501. Congrats, Rob. We appreciate your dedication to our community and are so glad you came back to serve Sartell.
excellent, thank you.
You gotta get a. Can you? Yeah, go.
Where do you want it?
Better take the balloons.
Don't forget the balloons, Isla.
Took me by surprise. Looking at this is a presentation of how.
Congrats, Rob.
You're ruining the collector's item now. It's no longer our flag.
I'll leave the balloons with Daddy. She's like, okay.
All right. Again, awesome job, Rob.
Great job.
Thank you.
Moving on to open forum public comment. We had no one register tonight. Approval of city council minutes. We have the January 8th regular meeting, January 8th special meeting, and January 10th special meeting. I'll take a motion on that.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve all three. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Consent agenda, we have items A through J. Would take a motion on that.
I make a motion to approve A through J.
We have a motion to approve A through J. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Old business, we have statewide Housing and Affordability Act.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor, members of the council. So the city will receive just under $170,000 over 2023 and 2024 for the statewide Affordable Housing Aid Program. The legislative intent is that the aid is for the production and preservation of affordable housing. We received our first application for the aid to benefit SaberCon to produce affordable housing for the community. I've included the application and supporting documentation in the packets, and we have Joe Schulte today from the high school to answer any questions that you may have on the program.
Awesome. Council, I know we reviewed this at our last workshop. Any questions on the program or for Mr. Schulte?
I have a couple questions, I guess.
Go ahead.
Hi, welcome.
Councilmember Elness, how are you?
Good, good. And yourself?
Great.
Excellent. How do you think you're gonna roll this into your, your current program that you have? And, what are some ideas of how this might help that program?
I think a challenge that we've had since we placed the first house in Sartell is to continue to do that. So SaberCon 2 and 3 have both gone outside of city limits to St. Cloud. And it is a mutual goal between us and Habitat for Humanity to keep houses in Sartell. And I think it would honestly be in keeping with what this grant money should go towards. So I do believe that is a direct intention. And so just searching actively for properties that are available would be one consideration. We do still have some needs as a program that haven't been met in year 3 going into year 4. So there's that opportunity as well.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Question, what does the home ownership process look like, or how is it determined who is eligible for this house? And is there any preference to Sartell residents because of the funding, or is it open to the greater St. Cloud area?
So Chad Booley would probably be better to speak to this, but I think I can answer it accurately. I mean, the process is very comprehensive. So currently, Central Minnesota Habitat has 60 applications for a house. Families that have applied, they have 10 approved out of that 60, so it's pretty stringent. Really, you have to be on a threshold where you're just under being able to afford a home. And then this is the assistance that gets you there. Really, it's the sweat equity of crew members like this that make the difference, offset the cost of the house. Beyond that, they go through financial stability training. They have to put in like 2,000 hours of their own in sweat equity towards their house or other houses. As far as the residency goes, wherever the lot is identified is where they're gonna live. So like our first house, the family moved from Brooklyn Park to here, and their kids are enrolled in school here now, but that was almost secondary to like we have an opportunity to be in a home instead of renting. So if we have Sartell properties, they're going to become Sartell citizens or move, from wherever they're at into that home in Sartell. So does that answer?
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Just wanted to clarify that because it's the state, this is new state funding, right? And that it didn't have to benefit Sartell residents since the money was going to Sartell jurisdiction.
Yeah, so good question. There's a couple, actually quite a few different qualifying factors of types of projects that you could use this aid on. So it could be like the construction of an affordable housing apartment complex, for example, which would then obviously be within your jurisdiction. But it can also be to help fund a nonprofit who specifically addresses affordable housing, such as Central Minnesota Habitat for Humanity. Like that is actually one exact qualifier. You don't even have to have anything tied to your community, just as long as it's a nonprofit associated with providing affordable housing. And then another one of the qualifying factors is to help fund like construction materials and the training aspect. And so essentially what SaberCon does is a whole category in itself as well. So not necessarily any requirement that it has to be within your jurisdiction, but just that it's tied to affordable housing is the key item. And so that's why it has really helped to make a ton of, and has made the most sense to partner with someone like Central Minnesota Habitat for Humanity, because we know that they do provide and check the box of the affordable housing piece, but then we also get to benefit our students by partnering, with their partnership with SaberCon. So it kind of seems like a win-win for those dollars. And I saw Chad just walked in with Executive Director for Central Minnesota Habitat for Humanity too. So if you have other questions related specifically to the application process and selection, and I believe that it's primarily, they still have loans, they still have to make payments, but it's interest-free or low interest, 0 interest. And so that's how they get it to that affordability factor.
Councilmember Smith, I could expand a little more just on the front of why we partner with Habitat for Humanity. Why don't we just build through a lumberyard? There are some high schools. There's right now 14 homes that were built by schools last year. So we were one of 9 the year before, and now 14. So there's a trend going, which is great. But the Habitat partnership allows us to help a family up, but without, like, for myself to take that on to try and use a comprehensive process that they have for screening, like, it would be overwhelming. So, and then just the resources they bring with project management, superintendency, the network that they already have. So combining all of those has made it attainable. I think that's why. And she had just asked really the process for identifying homeowners, and I had said like 60 applications, 10 approved, and we've got 4 builds going right now, I think. Is that accurate? You want to jump in? Any other questions for me about the program, the crew itself, or where we're at school-wise?
Maybe less of a question, but I guess looking for validation from you, and I want to highlight that oftentimes when a government entity comes in and offers this type of funding, it can impact other areas of your funding, other entities that are supporting it. And I want to recognize for all that this doesn't fulfill all of your needs, right? And that's part of your challenge, is the high cost of real estate in Sartell to find a spot to place a home in Sartell. And so I don't want this in any way to deter others from continuing to support SaberCon, or if they haven't yet, to start supporting SaberCon. So
Yeah, I appreciate that. I gave my principal a heads up that I was coming to talk. I don't anticipate that. I really see it as the opportunity to create some more energy around this, and further collaborate. And I have to recognize Anna for being persistent on saying, we've got this opportunity. And so we finally sat down, the 3 of us, and lo and behold, it looks like it can work. And that really, for me, that's very exciting, because I do want to keep homes in this community that are affordable. It provides great opportunity for those families. And so, Chad, I'll give you an opportunity to talk about the process a little bit, and then any other questions about our program?
I just wanted to jump in and just say thank you for all your work. Obviously, dealing with both Central Minnesota Habitat for Humanity as well as SaberCon builds in my past. You guys do an amazing job. Can you walk us maybe through the experience for the kids, just for those who don't know about SaberCon a little bit?
Yeah, so I texted the crew today, because I didn't know if I could be here, and I'm like, hey, will anybody show up at this meeting? And it was basically like, it's just for support, but Joe, Brendan, Ilo were like, sure, we will. And so to the individual, Joe's thinking either carpentry or business management. Brendan's carpentry, both at Alex Tech, and Ilo, Dunwoody Institute for project management, and then he's doing Guard to pay for it, National Guard. Right now, since we started, about 80 kids have gone through it, including this crew, and we're at about 50% either going into the trades directly or to a 2-year school for the trades. So that pathway is working, and that's exciting for me. And just the support that we've seen from industry stepping up to say, okay, this is a good thing. And we've seen you know, our business partners benefit directly. Not that we promised anything there, but it's really happening. And they're going in with a great confidence and kind of a leg up on that. So, and the school is all about what we're doing. We've been able to do it safely, refine the process down to even just 3 quarters out of the year. So first, second, and fourth quarter is what we build, and we're getting that done too. So it's been a lot of fun, honestly. I guess, would you guys say that's one of the primaries? Fun? Yeah, for sure. Net promoter score. So when I exit survey them and say, what are you doing, and do you need help with industry contact, and then would you recommend this to underclass? So like a 9.4 is what we average right now. They're saying, yes, definitely, this is fun. So we're doing something well there too, I would say. And that's important to me, you know, that they're having a great time, but they're also having the opportunity to either set up contacts or make a plan or just have confidence going into that. So any other questions for me?
I just think as an industry, you know, in the industry on my professional side of things, and W. Goldman, that the experience is amazing for kids coming out of the school to have that level of interest and desire built into them, literally. I mean, it's great. And keep our industry of carpenters and whatever, project managers, it's a really good program. And we've actually hired a number of kids that have gone through that program over the years and continue to build on it, so.
Thank you.
Okay. Chad, you want to talk just a little bit about the process for selection for homeowners?
Sure. First, Mayor, council members, I apologize for being a little late. I was in a little bit of a fender bender on the way over here.
Oh.
In my driveway. The missus is not gonna be happy. So, from a selection process, so currently, we serve the 35 to 60% average median income. We're looking to bump that into the 60 to 80% also, so we can hit more of the workforce housing and people like the carpenters and those folks who otherwise aren't served and can't go out and buy a home these days. So I think within the next year will be 35 to 80% AMI. Families apply, and if they meet all the qualifications of ability to pay, willingness to partner, they do 200 hours of sweat equity on their homes. Oh. If it helps make it 20,000? No, I'm just kidding. It's 200 hours, along with 15 hours of classes on how to be a homeowner, how to take care of their home, and how to be a good neighbor. And then, yes, we're vertically integrated, so we also supply the mortgage. 0 down, 0% interest. Sign me up for that. But the families will pay what they can, up to 30% of their monthly income. And if it does go beyond that, so if a family can only afford $250,000 on their mortgage and it's a $280,000 home, that additional $30,000 will go on a silent second. They don't pay on it. And then if they're still in that home after 30 years, that is forgiven. So, and we have, we shut down the application process right now. We're up to over 300 folks just waiting to apply. So I would say the demand is there. And I have reached out to at least one gentleman who has some property in the city of Sartell. I would love to, I don't know if you guys talked about that at all, but I'd love to build them here and put them here. But I think somebody, Mayor, that might have been you, said land isn't cheap. But maybe the city has some. Maybe I'll be back later, who knows? Any questions before I get yelled at from my wife?
Seeing none. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Council, in front of us, looking for a motion on the community grant application.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Wrapping up with department reports. Administration.
Yeah, Mayor, members of the council, you have my report. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Edmund? Seeing none. Thank you. Finance.
Mayor, members of the council, thanks for the recognition and support over the past 12 months now. It was a grind, and I bugged Anna plenty with all of the ideas that came out of the training and webinars. It was extremely relevant, and would recommend it to anybody in finance looking to obtain the certification. So,
No one here, so.
yeah, I was, but thank you.
And I'll just add, because we were also drawn by Isla with her balloons. I don't know if anybody heard Ryan say that nationally, there are 500 people with this certification and now 501. So it is no small feat that he was able to accomplish this. We're really fortunate to have him here in Sartell, so.
How many Johnny grads?
He's probably the only one, for sure.
No, it's not, none that I know.
Good question, good follow-up though. Don't see you on here tonight, though. Yeah. Community development.
Mayor, members of the council, you have my monthly report. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Anything for Carrie? Thank you. City commission updates. Council committee updates, miscellaneous business.
Nothing tonight.
Jill?
Nothing, just congrats to Rob, and we appreciate everything you do. And I wish you could rewind the tape and see the look on your face when Ryan said there was a special presentation.
He was fumbling around, looking.
Jed?
Nothing on that tonight, just again, congratulations, Rob. Good job, Anna, keeping it a secret all the way through, so very, very good job, so. But just, Rob, that's a huge accomplishment, 12, finished it in 12 months, one of 500, good job.
Yeah, I thought the cat was out of the bag a little bit because the post online has the special presentation, and so I was heckling Nikki a little bit on that, but awesome job. I don't have anything further. Next week we've got a couple different, I think is when our meetings really start in, so. Look for motion to adjourn at 6:20.
Still not a record.
If we get a motion,
I'll move.
is there a second? I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.